Good day, students. Our topic for Mathematics 10 Week 7 is the distance formula. But before we tackle the distance formula, let's have first a recall about the parts of a rectangular coordinate plane, which is, the first one is the x-axis. We have here the x-axis. The x-axis have the negative and the positive integers, and the left side is the negative integers, and on the right side is the positive integer. We also have the y-axis, which is also composed of the negative and the positive integers. And we also have the point of origin, or the intersection of your x and y axis. The coordinates of your origin is 0, 0. Next is the 4 quadrants. We have the quadrant 1, wherein your sign of the coordinates located in this quadrant is positive, positive. We also have the quadrant 2, the sign is negative, positive, and the quadrant 3 is negative, negative, and in the last quadrant is positive, negative. In plotting a point, we have pair, unordered pair. So, in an ordered pair, it is composed of x, y. So, palagi pong mauuna si x kay y. And in naming a point, kailangan po it is always a capital letter. Example, here we have 5, 8. If 5, 8 is our first point, we need to name it. Example, point A. So, ganun lang po palagi. Next, rectangular coordinate plane. It is also called as the Cartesian plane. Yan. Cartesian plane is named after René Descartes, a mathematician and philosopher who introduced the coordinate system to show how algebra could be used in geometric problems, just like the topic that we will tackle today. We will use the distance formula in solving the geometric properties. Let's proceed now to our topic, which is the distance formula. Distance formula is derived from the Pythagorean theorem. It is your topic during your grade 9. So, the formula is d is equals to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared, wherein your x sub 1 and your y sub 1 are the coordinates of your first point. And x sub 2, then y sub 2 is the coordinate of your second point. So, ibig sabihin po, yung mga subscript nito, yung mga nasa iba mong numbers, yan po yung nag-i-indicate kung saang coordinate mo sila matatagpuan or saang point mo sila matatagpuan. Kapag 1 ang nasa ibaba, ibig sabihin, that is the coordinates of your first point. Kapag 2 naman po, that is the coordinate of your second point. Okay? Next. Ayan. These are the steps of in finding the distance between 2 points. So, the first one is label the points as A and B. So, halimbawa po dito, maglalagay tayo ng point. Yan. So, we have here point A and then point B. The second step is label A as your x sub 1, then y sub 1. B is your x sub 2, then y sub 2. Gaya po dito, your first point is negative 2, negative 2. That is your A, kaya po nandiyan siya, si x sub 1, then y sub 1. Kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, kapag siya yung first point, yung subscript niya po is 1. Kapag siya yung second point, your subscript is 2. Next, substitute the values of x sub 1, then y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2 numbers into the distance formula. And after you substitute it, then you can now calculate and simplify. So, ganun lang siya kadali. Let's have now our example number 1. Our first point is located here. That is your point A. And then our second point is located here. This will be your second point or point B. So, we need to find the distance between these 2 points. So, let's identify the coordinates of point A. So, titignan natin, sabi nga doon kanina, pag sinabing ordered pair, ang mauuna si x. So, titignan natin siya saan siya nakatapat. That is a negative 2. And then sa y, that is 3. Next, sabi naman po, we have here 3 and then negative 2. Yan. So, next, we need to solve it. So, we need to identify the values. So, our A is the first point. So, the coordinates will be x sub 1, y sub 1. The second point is x sub 2, y sub 2. So, substitute it to the formula. D is equals to square root of x sub 2 is 3 minus your x sub 1 is negative 2. Next, plus y sub 2 is negative 2 minus your y sub 1 is 3. Squared it both. Next, negative then negative, this will be positive. 3 plus 2 is 5. So this will be 5 squared plus negative 2 minus negative 3 will be negative 5 then squared. So equals 5 squared is 25 plus negative 5 squared, negative 5 times negative 5, that will be also 25. 25 plus 25, that will be square root of 50. So, since yung 50 po natin, may factor siya na perfect square, so, sisimplify pa natin to. So, that will be, factor nito na perfect square is 25. So, 25 times 2. So, 25 times 2. Square root of 25 is 5. So, this will be 5. Since ito po is not a perfect square, that will be square root of 2. So, this is now our distance for points A and point B. Let's have another example. We need to find the distance between points C and point D. So, 1, 2, and then 1, negative 2. So, this will be your x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, then y sub 2. Substitute it again to the formula. That will be D is equals to square root of x sub 2 is 1 minus your x sub 1 is 1. Then squared plus y sub 2 is negative 2. Minus your y sub 1 is 2 squared. So, next, simplify. 1 minus 1 is equals to, of course, 0. So, 0 squared plus negative 2 minus 2. So, parehas ulit ng sign. I-add po natin yan. So, that will be 4. Then, copy the sign. Negative 4 squared. So, D is equals to square root of 0 squared. 0 na po yan. Then, negative 4 squared, so that will be 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So, simply the distance of point B and point D is 4. Next, let's have example number 3. Find the distance between point E and point F. Point E is our first point. So, again, this will be your x sub 1, then y sub 1. Your F is your second point. So, this is your x sub 2, y sub 2. Substitute again to the formula. D is equal to square root of x sub 2 is 5 minus your x sub 1 is negative 3 plus your y sub 2 is 3 minus your y sub 1 is 2 squared equals 5 minus negative 3, magkatabi sila. So, this will be positive. Negative times negative, positive. So, 5 plus 3 is 8 squared plus 3 minus 2 is 1. So, this will be 1 squared equals 8 squared is equals to 64 plus 1 squared is 1. So, add them, 64 plus 1, so that will be square root of 65. So, wala nang factor si 65 na perfect square, kaya po our final distance between point E and point F is square root of 65. Next, let's have example number 4, the last example. Find the distance between point G and point H. So point G is our first point, H is our second point. So again, this will be x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Substitute to the formula, D is equal to square root of x sub 2 is 0 minus x sub 1 is 3 squared plus, or y sub 2 is 0 again, minus your x sub 1, y sub 1 is 4 squared. Is equal to 0 minus 3 is negative 3 squared plus 0 minus 4 is negative 4 squared. Is equals to negative 3 squared, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Then negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Then 9 plus 16 is 25. So square root of 25 is 5. So positive po yung kukunin natin kasi walang distance na negative. So therefore, the distance between point G and point H is 5. Hope you get it. Now you can answer your learning task. The distance formula comes with some uses in everyday life. It can be used as a strategy for easy navigation and distance estimation. So, pwede nyo siya magamit kapag may nahanap kayong distance between two things, two person, or two places, or anything. Basta, it's about distance.